Information is power. Information is life. Information is what you need to navigate your daily lives. And that is what Paper Trends stands for on Midas Radio 90.5 FM.
Fasten your seatbelts. Let's take you around the newspapers across Nigeria.
We don't just reel out the stories. We also bring diverse analysis to the issues. We give you, the listeners, ample time to share your thoughts on the issues.
Join us from 7:30 to 8:30 in the morning, Mondays to Fridays.
For Paper Trends, a paper review show you can't afford to miss. Only on Midas Radio 90.5 FM.
You're welcome this morning on Paper Trends on Midas Radio 90.5 FM. What a great pleasure to be back on Paper Trends this beautiful Monday morning, the 23rd day of February 2026. From all the interesting tidbits that happened over the weekend, it's great to get back to work more officially. A lot of things happen, underneath when you don't see our faces. To ensure that everything goes as it should, that we tick all of the boxes that we should. But it's great to get to see your faces, and you're seeing my face. That's if you're joining on Facebook, Midas Radio 90.5 FM. I hope you had a beautiful weekend at your place. Some got to travel, some got to do a lot of resting. And some other persons were just like us, who do not have that much space to rest. But whatever it is, I want to believe that the weekend was very good, and we're getting on with that energy this Monday and even the entire week. I am Bukola FORTUNE-OMOSOLA, welcoming you on the Monday edition of Paper Trends on this dial. And so, without further ado, let's get into the newspapers, just as you know it. Running through Punch newspaper very quickly, rigging, INEC Rex risk 2-year jail term. FCT poll, well, that's one of the biggest events over the weekend. And for news persons, so for persons who have nose for news, I'm sure you all had your hands trying to check what the update will be on. The results are everywhere. But of course, there are developments. There will always be developments. FCT poll, PDP drags APC to court after 5 council sweep. AU condemns Zamfara killings, demands release of abducted women, children. Again, we do not escape talking about insecurity. India deports over 2,356 Nigerians in 5 years. And you have this here, 19 more Nigerians face U.S. deportation. FRC unveils Safer Road Habits campaign in Anambra. Awujale, ruling family demands governor resume selection process. To some others, again, 3 killed in Lagos Abeokuta Expressway crash. How police stray bullet killed 2 in Lagos community. Eyewitness group decries displacement of traders as Lagos redevelops markets. Residents protest mining in Ogun community over environmental risks. 1,023 illegal dumping cases recorded in Lagos in 2025. That's according to Loma. Let's see what the Nigerian Tribune holds for us this Monday. Okay, APC shows strength, wins big in FCT Kano, Rivers, Ogun. Most tourists killing Nigerians are foreigners, federal government. Is that a detail easy to swallow? Well, we could talk about that very briefly this morning when my analyst gets on board. Electoral Act, what changed in the new law? Senate leader. APC's victories in FCT, Kano, Rivers' endorsement of Tinubu's reforms, Yewatda. And just some more here. Northeast holds one-day national prayer rally in Bauchi. Plateau PDP sets up committee to investigate allegations of defections. FCT Council polls, ADC defeats APC, wins first polling unit. Well, that's the first, as we were getting the results one after the other. So that's one of the stories that came first. And of course, you know the ADC is still very new when you talk about the scheme of things, political formations and what have you. And so winning a polling unit looks to be like some news, and that's why we have it right here. Maybe it wasn't expected from some quarters. Okay, now, sometime on Friday, I think I mentioned this about Mirabel, who had to talk about some rape thing. What have you? We all know that story. We don't have to go over it. But there was a particular celebrity who got on talking about rape and abusing of women, and it's been backlashes back and forth for her. And that's Simi Kosoko. And so there's been a lot of drama right up many, many years back. And that's the interesting part. Or do I say the uninteresting part about the internet? You say, or you hear it, the internet never forgets. And so whatever you do now, we'll go back to start to put all of those thoughts together. There was this Joe Cole tweet. There was this little boy that was also talked about, and a whole lot of things. Well, some Nigerians were defending to say that, well, she was just searching for attention at the time. But what was the content of the posts she made? That's what led to other persons getting on social media to say, oh, forget about it. At that time, in 2012, she was 24. And so she was of age to talk about a little child that way. If you have not been following, well, it's right here in the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Simi breaks silence after her 2012 post sexualizing, in quote, 4-year-old boy resurfaced online. Business stories, according to Tribune, federal government commits 5% of GDP to industrial financing, targets 25% manufacturing contribution by 2035. And a core political development here. FCT Council polls, INEC admits late arrival of staff at polling units. Wike breaks silence on FCT Council polls. Let's take a few stories here and then we get a punch and we'll wrap up so we can bring on our analyst this Monday morning. Nigeria wins $6.2 million arbitration case against European tech giant. Abuja elections concluded. APC wins 5 of 6 council areas. Hashtag FCT decides 2026. APC's Abdullahi wins Abaji chairmanship election. Why Tinubu quickly signed Electoral Act Amendment Bill, Senate leader. So there's been some sort of a concern about how fast or how quick the president signed that into law, or let's say the amended piece. Of course, it's now a law. Our elections will have to follow through with that, except something changes along the way. We'll stop right there with the Premium Times. Now, let's see. A Daily Post, rather. City Boys Movement, Tinubu Harvest, Socialites, Entertainers ahead of 2027. Akume versus Aliyah. Benue APC crisis deepens as party gets dual ward structures. Okay, sports here. Super Eagles, Nigeria will regret it. Garagombe warns NFF against handing Chell $130,000 salary. You could also pay your attention to this. Jehesu suspends strike after Lagos Assembly intervention. And some political stories, more of that. FCT polls exposed people who buy corn from roadside sellers to deceive Nigerians. Who could have just said that? Well, this says Wike made that statement. APC to hold ward local government area congresses in Abia Wednesday after suspension of exercise. Benue APC praises peaceful, successful local government congresses. Outcome of FCT Rivers election reflects growing support for Tinubu Wike. By-election results show Nigerians' confidence in Tinubu Lagos APC. Some more sports stories. La Liga, Igalo predicts what will happen to Lookman playing under Simeone at Atletico Madrid. EPL, Gary Neville gives Arsenal only condition to win title ahead of Man City. And still on EPL, it's their season. Jamie Redknapp names team to win title. Kebbi attack, that's on another side this morning. Group demand urgent security overhaul. Boko Haram attack on Adamawa military camp kills 3 soldiers, civilian woman. That's quite worrisome. Thank you for joining on my Facebook here. Do well to drop your comment and on Midas Radio 90.5 FM. I see the comments coming in, but we'll leave that for now. Engineer Timmy, good morning to you. And now let's have Engineer Obayanji, who is our analyst, join us now on Paper Trends on Midas Radio 90.5 FM. A pleasant morning to you, Engineer. It's great to have you joining.
Thank you for having me. Happy New Week.
Wish you the same. Okay, so let's start very quickly with this hot story. That's the FCT elections. I'm sure you have all your hands on that story. APC shows strength, wins big in FCT, Kano, Rivers, Ogun. Let's take all of this together first, and then we may just focus our attention on what happened in the FCT. All right, so this talks about FCT, Kano, Rivers, and Ogun, and that's in Nigerian Tribune today. Tinubu congratulates winners, commends INEC. Voter apathy protest against APC's misrule sets up legal protest, rather. Voter apathy protest against APC's misrule sets up legal team for members. Outcome of elections, endorsement of President Tinubu, APC chairman Wike hails president. The ruling All Progressives Congress APC showed its strength ahead of the 2027 general election. Well, I don't know what general election means here, but we know what that means. At the weekend, winning 5 of the 6 area councils of the FCT, Abuja, while also sweeping the by-elections in Kano, Rivers, and Ogun states. The ruling showcased the best of its command performance in the FCT yet, beating its earlier record of winning 4 council seats in 2019 when the People's Democratic Party won 2. The ruling party also bettered its 2022 record when it shared the spoils with the PDP at 3 council apiece. In the results announced by INEC, the APC was declared the winner in Abuja Municipal Area Council, AMAC, as well as Buhari, Abaji, Kwali, and Kuje, while the People's Democratic Party, PDP, maintained its hold on Gwagwalada Area Council. In Saturday's polls, 637 candidates from 17 political parties contested for 68 positions, including 6 chairmanship seats and 62 councillorship slots across 62 wards. Now, let's see this part. Aside from displacing its main challenger to the FCT councils, the APC also silenced the African Democratic Congress ADC, which was left politically stranded as it won no seat in the area councils. The erstwhile ruling party, the People's Democratic Party, won the Gwagwalada Area Council. So, did you have all the expectations with this elections? I mean, did you expect to see something more clearer with the conduct from INEC to the electoral process and then the final results?
Well, so far so good. I think this election, to me, is better. And considering the issue of grand electronic transmission, except the little time that there are delays, and you're talking about that because as long as you are still using GSM for internet access, you should expect delay. And also, when you are posting something like that, it's going to affect the transfer. So, and after some time, I think the transmission was smooth. Then, though there are a lot of individuals who are arrested with some were arrested with more than one card. Some were arrested with a lot of things. But then there are no more issues. But the major issue in that election is the voter apathy, the inability of people to come out in I read that in the Tikin-based ward, only 7 people came to vote, and that is not too good. Though, to me, I still believe that our people need voters' education, because now if you have a candidate you are allowed to root for, and you want that candidate to win, and no matter what happens, you still have to go out and vote. In fact, one of the ways to prove a point that you don't love a candidate or you love a candidate is to mobilize yourself to go and vote for that candidate. Because because you don't believe in the process and you stay put, you stay at home, or you decide to let say people stay or you boycott, then at the end of the day, our electoral process in this country is a simple majority. So which means that it is those people that voted that will be counted, whether 1, 2, 3, or 4. So I still want to talk to our people that this issue of voter apathy, not coming out or the voting and say we are not going to vote, you are not helping your candidate and you're not paying matter. So apart from that, though another surprise I see in that is that the performance of ADC really surprised me, because I believe that ADC has been the party that is more pronounced at the capital, at the national, that is Lagos and Abuja. So I expect them to at least show for, especially that AMAC, where you have, what's the name of this man that's so popular, this ADC candidate that was popular. So I expect that there will be a good showing for ADC, but unfortunately, we don't know what happened, that they couldn't even get just one seat to show that they are really present in Nigerian political system. But then, this is just a council election, so we can't use this one to really judge much. Though the APC are saying, well, it's a signature, it's a fact, it's to prove a point that where they have been accepted. Well, they win 5 out of 6, PDP still win 1. And people are still talking that that of PDP, that there may be issue about it because they have problem with the party at INEC, who is the national chairman, who is the ESCO, who are those. So that may go against them, and that may not. I'm not an INEC person. But then, since after that little committees, there is not much problem. Everybody just went out, vote, and go back to their places. But there are a lot of issues, which to me I don't want to talk about, because in Nigeria, any party that wins, democracy is working. The one that lost, or that the people that lost will say, oh, democracy is not working. The one that wins will say, oh, it is fantastic. Oh, that is election for you. So, but then, since there's no problem, there's no fight, there's no issue, then at least Amopiton is trying to is begin the work. And in Rivers State too, there are no problem, and also in Kano. Start of Kano, when you begin to monitor things, you know that Kano in the 2007 election is going to be a really battlefield, not for fight, not for fist cuff, but for two gladiators. You still want to prove that I said I'm here, and the Caucus want to say you are my boy, and this Caucus made you. So that's why for general election in Kano, but for this rerun, and APC really have the day in all the elections by both Rivers, Kano, and Abuja, federal capital.
Yeah,
and people are saying that Wike too is a big boy and is a politician to reckon with, having delivered.
Rivers, that's the next question I would have put to you to say. Let's talk about Rivers too. That development, interesting.
You see, that of Rivers State, everybody have been saying it. As far as river politics is concerned, everybody knows that there's no way Wike will sway there, because Wike knows how to practice grassroots politics. And there was a time he even left Abuja when there's still fracas between him and his strange godson. We they have not come together now. It tore the whole of the local government in Rivers State. It was moving from one local government to another, getting the people, oiling the structure, and ensuring that the people are still with him. So when you see that kind of a person, you know that this person that understands grassroots. And I've said this severally, that in Nigeria today, you are relevant. It's only when you are relevant that people reckon with you politically. Once you are no more relevant, and to be relevant, you have to have a structure. To have a structure, you have to have people that believe in you, and you must continue to hold them. And that's one of the things that Wike is fighting against. That no, I made you. You can't take this structure from me. Once you take this from me, I'm finished. I don't like politics, and that's what's happening to some people presently now. That once they do, they are not relevant again, and they are not reckoned with. So Wike doesn't want to belong to that group, and that's why he was fighting tooth and nail to ensure that they did not allow footballers to take that structure. And with that election now, we know that the man is also in charge to say the truth.
Okay.
Having stayed down to win election in the federal capital and also university something at the same time. The same feat he made when he was governor, when he won that governor for footballer and also won the presidential election for APC. Wike is a politician. I think I will begin to study him now and see the way he's really managing things. He tried to have gone around. No, there are a lot of issues. People are now saying a lot of things concerning that election. But then, as it is now, the INEC has declared the results on IRF. I think everybody should go to IRF. If there are any issue, you can lay their complaint. Right.
Now let's get into security this morning. The federal government makes a strong statement about who these people really are that have been terrorizing our communities. And I'll take the story from Nigerian Tribune today, the headline says, most terrorists killing Nigerians are foreigners. Federal government. The federal government has insisted that many of the terrorists responsible for killing Nigerians are foreign nationals who infiltrated the country through its porous borders. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF, George Akume, made this session Sunday while addressing participants at the first plenary of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria, CBCN, held at St. Gabriel's Chaplaincy, Catholic Secretariat of Nigeria in Abuja. Akume acknowledged that insecurity remains a major challenge in Nigeria, noting that the problem is not peculiar to the country alone. Insecurity is a problem. Taking a quote from what he said over the weekend, insecurity is a problem not only in this country but throughout the world. Even advanced countries are going through this. Unquote. He described the pattern of killings as tragic, stressing that the violence predates the current administration. According to him, intelligence reports indicate that many of those arrested in connection with recent attacks are not Nigerian. So it seems that the federal government is aware now that we have porous borders. If it wasn't before, well, this story tells us that, well, the federal government is now alive to knowing that we have very porous borders. But is this new? Everyone knows this has been the issue. So how are you telling us this now? What do we do with that information? I don't know what Nigerians will do with that. I think we just want results. So you look into that. Then let's quickly stop by this. It's another insecurity situation. Boko Haram attack on Adamawa military camp kills 3 soldiers, civilian women. Suspected Boko Haram insurgents have attacked a military camp in the Garaha district of Hong local government area of Adamawa state, killing 3 soldiers and a fleeing civilian woman. The insurgents also razed a primary school and other key infrastructure during the attack, which came amid a series of similar assaults in part of the Hong local government area in recent months. The latest attack, Daily Post learned, occurred in the late morning of Saturday, February 21st, when the attackers rushed in, firing sporadically and catching the military personnel largely unaware. Well, maybe one funny or one sarcastic thing we'll say is, do we hold Ribadu responsible for this? I mean, he's been held responsible for probably giving information. I mean, media trial here, because he tapped the NSA's phone. He said he knows who tapped that. And so he's being at the forefront of, you have been the person probably giving these people information. You're surprised how these terrorists caught our army unawares. Then how do we say we're ready to attack this headlong?
Thank you very much. As regards the border, it's not new, so they don't need to tell us. We all know that we have one of the worst border in the whole world, the worst even in Africa, a place where anybody can just come in and get in and out anytime in the name of herdsmen or whatever, I don't know. So we know, and once they know, I'm not sure there's anything they are doing about it. The Ministry of Interior, there's no country that doesn't have border. Even when Trump gets in, he said there's need to be border. The put border between Mexico and the U.S., put border between Canada, and so there's supposed to be border marked by either area surveillance and by ground forces on ground, so that we know who is coming. We know the purpose of your coming in. But since we have been talking about this issue of insecurity for the past how many years now, close to 20 years, now we've not been able to solve the issue of this border. And this government have not been able to do anything about it. They have been able to play this game of politics, have not been allowed most of our leaders to do what they're supposed to do. Though remember that during the time of the late President Muhammadu Buhari, when we were talking about building the fences and making the border, he said the donor people cried out and said no. Most of the, especially the Nigerian people, he said they are family members, they are they don't want anything between them, all those things like that. And these are some of the politics of ethnicity that they play that is affecting us, where we are supposed to be border. And to make the matter worse is the fact that now this border, even apart from the fact that it's porous, there's no surveillance whatsoever. At least when you know that border is porous, there's supposed to be 1 or 2 helicopters dedicated for the northern part, and that one dedicated for the eastern and for the western part. And they are talking of the Benin border, the Cameroon border, the Nigerian border, and even the other side. So, but then you see everything just full of people just walking in and out of the country anyhow, and some of them they get down. And since there have been problem in the most of the Sahel, when there are the Mali, the Burkina Faso, and all those ones, now they have been infiltrating. Now those people are fighting terrorists and they are pushing them out. And most of the the time they put them into Nigeria. You'll be surprised, Bukola, that most of these foreigners have Nigerian NIN. Most of them carry Nigerian ID card, even though they are not Nigerians. In fact, to by surprise, do you know that most of the people that are repentant, they are not even Nigerian. And they said they are repentant, and Nigeria rehabilitated them. I put them into Nigerian military formations, put them in the Nigerian armed forces, put them in the different places, even though they know they are not Nigerian. But because there is this semblance of the Fulanis everywhere in the world, they are always, especially in this Sahel, so they don't even be able to differentiate them. So most time they enter Nigeria and they say they are repentant. They put them in some of these Nigerian military agencies and all those ones, and they are the ones feeding the people with information. Now, talking about what happened at Adamawa now. Now, even though what El-Rufai said needs to be investigated, because he said some people, we need to know those people. But as people like me knows that since we have been having repentant Boko Haram and they are put them into Nigerian space, then I know that the function of these people, why they ask them to go and repent, so that they can rehabilitate them and put them back, is to gather this information. And unfortunately, Nigerians have not been able to realize. Recently now in the north, we learned that about another, how many of them now have been repented and something, and they are fully rehabilitated them, and they want to reintegrate them into the society. Can you imagine that? And these are people that will be supplying them information. These are people that will be opening up for them. And these are people that are the ones that are giving them the information, because for some of them goes to the military and they are aware of the military news, they are aware of military strategy, they are aware of the secret, all the military secrets that, and they relay it back to them, because we want to explain how we did infiltrate barracks, infiltrate NDA, go to those different places. Is because they have an insider, and these insiders are the ones that they call repentant. The terrorists doesn't repent, but they have strategy. One of their strategies that says they know Nigeria is talking about carrot. I don't know which carrot they are talking about, or cucumber. So they present themselves as the carrot and say, we are sorry, and they say they have repented. Now they rehabilitate them according to them. They begin to train them. They reintegrate them into some of them in custom, in army, in navy, some of them in the Ministry of Interior, and we have our graduates out there that are looking for job. And these are people that they get there, they begin to fish and begin to sniff and scan where are the armory, where are the information, where are the intelligence. They get all these things and they send it to the bush, and this is the thing that happens. So if Nigeria are really serious, they know what to do. Now, how much will it cost to put border across, to put at least, even if it's a wire gauze fence across all our borders? Or what will it cost us to even put the real fence there? Or what will it cost to even buy 2 helicopters or 3 or 4 and dedicate for area surveillance, so that when people are coming in, at least their location? What will it cost to put a post between this country, between Nigeria and Nigeria, between Nigeria and Chad, between Nigeria and Cameroon, between Nigeria and Benin? What will it cost Nigeria to put the post there, so that as the area is surveilling, when people, the movement of people into the country, they relate information to the ground forces, and they have to prevent them and say, no, you go back, you can't come in. But when such things are not there, and they're not ready to do it, so it's like Nigeria know what to do, but they're not ready to do it because of politics. And so they say the height of folly is doing the same thing and expect different results.
Expect different results.
Yeah,
now, there's something.
We all know they are foreigners. So the question is, how did they get into this people, to the country? Now, why can't Nigeria investigate how they get in there? Now, having discovered how they get in there, what is Nigeria doing to at least every country of the world, they repatriate foreigners that they don't want? What effort have Nigeria been making to gather all these people and repatriate them? What effort Nigeria been making to send these people back? Now, we've been hearing that U.S. forces are here, U.S. forces are here. We'll not be seeing any effort. Every day they are always proving a point to us that whether you bring U.S. or Russia or China, we are still here.
We're still here.
Causing a lot of problem without being concerned.
Now, I would like us to also look at one more story, because I find the dates where these actions were perpetrated very disturbing. And earlier we spoke about Adamawa. Now this is Zamfara State. AU condemns Zamfara killings, demands release of abducted women, children. That's in Punch newspaper. The African Union has condemned the killing of more than 50 civilians and the abduction of women and children during coordinated attacks in Zamfara State. In a statement published on its official website on Sunday, the chairperson of the African Union Commission, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, said he strongly condemns the heinous and coordinated terrorist attacks perpetrated on February 21, 2026 in Zamfara State, northwestern Nigeria, which resulted in the killing of more than 50 civilians and the abduction of women and children. So it's the same date like what I read in the other part, that's in Adamawa State here. Now, of course, I'm sure that there's another story I saw about Kebbi there. So let's see, 21st, same day. Do you think this is just a way for the terrorists to tell us that we're very present in your country and we can decide to take over as many communities as we want at the same time? Does this call for a more intentional approach to attacking this issue?
It calls for more intentional approach. Number one, Nigeria needs to do more than this carroting they are doing. What they are telling us is that we are not threatened. Because we expect that the mere fact of seeing a U.S. Air Force plane dropping...
It should create some fear.
It's supposed to create that fear. But they are telling us that we are not threatened. And that's why you are always seeing them that even when they tell us that U.S. Army is there, that particular day you will see them go out and say, let's show them that we don't care. There's no military person that want to come and meet us here. And as long as they have these insiders, giving them up-to-date information, you see, it can't, there's nothing. Even though we have been watching films, we have been seeing a lot of things that happen, and you know that in the military fight, there are also those secret strategies that must be done, which the other people will not know. But in the case of Nigeria, they know everything. In fact, Nigerian government are the ones that we even announced. We are establishing rangers. We are recruiting 1,000 of them. We are putting them everywhere. The military person has just purchased an aircraft. They will say, relay everything past the jet on here. Then the insiders too, probably those that Erufai is talking about, those that are hacking. Because now, I'm trying to now put this together, the killing of Brigadier, is it Kalu now?
Oh, yes. The
information there was that a
commander
SOS to the military formation that he has been captured. That these people are only capturing. They now sent back to him and said, go to a rendezvous. Now, we're going to send help to you. Now, somebody intercepted that information and sent it to the terrorists. Now, before help came to that rendezvous, they went there and arrested him. And they picked him and killed him, which means that somebody tapped that information and sent it to them. So this issue of El-Rufai really to be investigated to know that we are those people, because truly some people are there frustrating the effort to stop insecurity. We can't say government is not doing anything, but what government is not doing is to force the squad the insider. There's no way you want to solve a problem when the saboteurs are there undetected. They are the ones giving the information. They will go to military information, they will do this, they will do that. No matter what Nigeria is doing, they are the ones that will give them that information. So those are the ones that need to be detected, irrespective of whatever. And some people have been coming out to say we know them. Somebody said the former governor of Sanfara, he said we know him. He's the one that have been supplying. He said I'm the PA. I'm the one taking money to them. El-Rufai said they know why they are paying them salary. People have been talking, but government has not been able to do anything. United Arab Emirates, they themselves, they send lists and say these are the accounts we find through which money is coming to the Nigerian KIB, and a lot of revelations like that they are not doing anything about. So if really want to end the security, it's not by wasting the lives of these young men and women that are fighting for the. It's by doing the needful, and the first thing to do is to dictate the saboteurs within the system. It's not difficult to do that. Even anybody that is making a call can be tracked. If somebody sees phone here now goes to Abuja, it will track to Abuja. The exact location where he is in Abuja will be tracked. So why people are doing video, they are doing audio, they are calling, and yet you say you can't track them. Some people are making calls to these terrorists to give them information. Now, until you detect them, people are making money in this art of terrorism because it's bringing money. Nigeria is wasting money in dollars and it's going to some individual pockets. These people don't want it to end. So now, until Nigeria make this effort to get them, it is then I can talk of what I say, and it's very natural. Once you cut the source, then everything will neutralize naturally. For example, if these people are not getting the logistics anymore, if I'm not getting the information anymore, if I don't know what is happening in government anymore, then they will also be afraid and they will run out. But because they are telling us that USA or not, whatever meeting you had with US, we have people inside that will tell us the meeting. Once you have the meeting 1 a.m. in the midnight, by 1:30 they will tell us. So that's why they are giving us that information to tell us that we don't care, we are not threatened. And truly, they are not threatened. So government knows what to do, but I'm sure that the political way to do is the problem. And they are now putting the lives of defenseless, unarmed Nigeria in jeopardy. Today 50, tomorrow 100, this 50. It's not everywhere. Kwara, Ondo, Zamfara, Katsina, Niger, they are Benue, they are everywhere. They are everywhere, telling us that we don't care. So even the military formations too, that's supposed to be giving marching order. In other climes, the commander-in-chief will give marching order. End the security in 6 months, or I fire you. But this time, we just put them there and forget about them there. So individuals pursuing their ambition. And these people, they are also noticed, they've discovered that government is not even serious about it. And that's why they are doing whatever they are doing. At the end of the day also, they know that government abduct children, abduct school children, abduct female, the government is going to come and pay and negotiate and give you money. So they are doing good business. It is a win-win for everybody. The terrorists are winning. those that are benefiting government, they are also winning. Those
Wow.
they are also winning. Those that are doing gold, that are refining our gold, stealing our gold, they are also winning. So they want to decide the country so that the government will not have time to look at this refining, where they are just mining the gold free of charge, mining and lithium free of charge. So that's just it's more political than natural.
The natural.
That government sometimes I have a feeling that government knows them. Because they are holding meetings for every time. They are holding meetings every time. Bello Toji is always coming with the centaur to the government house, and it will be well received, and they will go. Bello Toji is holding wedding to some of his members. They will be well received and go. So what are we talking about? When they want to go and negotiate the students, the people taking a quarantine, are there not people that went there to give them the ransom? Or will government tell us that it is our military people that go to release those people? Who are the abductees? Where are the abductees?
Okay.
They say we want to release them.
All right. Let's take this. Let's take this quick paid announcement. We'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Everywhere I go, prices just keep rising. Asphalt, granite, bitumen, LPFO, too expensive. How do people even build these days? I am tired.
My guy, are you still buying the old way? No wonder. Haven't you heard?
Heard what?
The state government Ilueye site at Egbemo is now active and the rates are subsidized so you can buy more and more.
Subsidized? No be juju be this. For real? No bobo me job. I've been up and down, Jare. I pray I can have left over after this contract.
My guy, yes, absolutely real. Get your quality asphalt, granite, LPFO and bitumen at unbeatable rates. For my brother, you have to hurry. It's first come, first serve.
That's exactly what I need. Where is it?
Location is the former Romaco site on Ijon Road, Egbemo Ekiti. My guy, it's very easy to find with good road network to the site. Once again, the location is the former Romaco site on Ijon Road, Egbemo Ekiti. For inquiries, call 070-700-20002. Once again, 070-700-20002.
Okay, make I hurry now.
My guy, don't miss this opportunity to build smarter and save more.
Ilueye,
quality materials, better value. This message is brought to you by the concessionaire Royal Fintech Consultancy Limited.
You're welcome back on Pepper Trent on Midas Radio 90.5 FM, live in Ado-Ekiti here. Let's take some comments very quickly because of our time. Ma Olebara says she's from Owerri. Let our leaders take it easy and know that power is not permanent, it is transient. You have it today and tomorrow it's gone. We should realize that the existence of this country as a nation can only be possible when our leaders realize that they have a responsibility and change from nonchalant attitude they show to the plight of the Nigerian to real commitment. We have all it takes to develop this country, but it's held ransom by greedy and selfish people. Olivia Williams says, good morning. This present government has made people lose confidence in voting. There's no trust again. That's why people fail to come out en masse. No more belief, no more faith. Now, Nibot Olushola says, I'm surprised an analyst is giving Wike accolades for being a good politician. Let Wike resign as minister and become an ordinary citizen to prove his superiority in politics. A man who cannot win election without rigging FCT election that's full of alterations in favor of APC. Okay, thank you for sharing your thought with us. AY on the other side says, shout out to our Radio Queen. Good morning to you. Thank you very much. Bayode James says, good morning. You're welcome. Molu Abekiti, a pleasant morning to you. Thank you for joining Midas Radio today. Prince Tonya Kigbade, thank you for joining Midas FM. And Paper Trends, Alex Adeleye, thank you for being here. Okay, 0915 090 5905 0704 100 1905. If we'll take one call, that will be fine. We had some time cut off earlier this morning on the program. Falu Olalekan, good morning to you. Okay, because of our time, we'll have to go now. Engineer, okay, let me see if I'll take this morning. All right, let's try this. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
A beautiful morning to you.
Happy New Week. Oh.
Thank you very much.
So I'm just appealing to the government. They should try more about this security. Maybe to employ more military men and police. Even the America that say we should come and help us. we had in the news that a 20-year-old boy was in the residence, near the residence of the president, if not because of the security that were so alert that they burned him down. Only God knows what would happen. So they should put more effort. Then concerning the election, now I'm appealing to the ADC. Them is condemning. Tinubu is sitting about without me. Tinubu is wearing trousers without a belt. Let them do something. See what happened in this election. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much. We'll just keep it there this morning. Thank you, Mrs. Fowowe, for sharing with us. So, your final thoughts this morning on the discussions today.
Yes, what I want to say is the election is here. The election will be
very close.
So now I want our people to know that voter party will not help your candidate. Whatever INEC is doing, if you go out to vote and you vote your choice, it's very easy to monitor. But if you say you stay back because to you it's not going to count, after all they are going to rig, then you are not helping your candidate. I want to talk to our people that they should all go out. You have your card, mobilize yourself, go to vote for the person of your candidate. Because most of the things that was saying in Abuja is more, like I said, in the King Grace ward, just 7 people. Can you imagine? Out of about 500 registered voters there, 7. So, and now, if it's a simple majority thing that we do in Nigeria, even if it's one person that voted for him, that candidate wins. So whatever you are saying, you are just saying your own. So the best thing not to be talking about whether rigging or no rigging or people did not come out is not acceptable, is to go out to vote for your candidate. That's it. We are now, at least, since 1999, we have been in the electoral process. Let's at least begin to make it much more better. And it is we that will do that. Now, if you go out to vote, you must vote. Now it's being transmitted. You can always see it and we will note it. If anything is mutilated, you will see there that this thing is changed. And if it's not changed, you will see it there. And the new law has made a provision where you cannot make a formal report or whatever. Some people are arrested. In fact, yesterday, some people are arrested with 17 million.
17, yes.
Yes, we're arrested with 17 million. So
right.
even CFCS, they are also there. So making that this election to me is still better than that of 2023 because that's when there's no arrest. So let's go out and vote. Forget about voter party. Don't say it will not count. If you don't vote, then you have no right to talk.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Engineer Obanyoju, for sharing your thoughts with us on Paper Trends this Monday.
Thank you for having me.
All right, then. Ayolawal, we have to go now. Good morning. It says, good morning, ma'am. God bless Midas FM. God bless Nigeria. Thank you very much. That's Pepper Trends today. The time is 8:30. Apologies for starting behind schedule. Well, we have bills to pay. And I hope you do understand this. Till tomorrow, 7:30 to 8:30. I've been your host in the last 1 hour, Bukola FORTUNE-OMOSOLA. Have a beautiful Monday and an interesting week. Bye-bye.